Welcome back to Good Day Stateline. What an honor tonight to check in with two of the stars of Fox's A Fantasy Island as we get ready for a new episode this Thursday. So we're talking with Roselyn, Sanchez, and Kiara Barnes. Hi, ladies.
Hi.
Hi, it's so good to talk to you
How
guys.
are you? Good morning.
Yeah, about this cool show. It premiered in August. It's sort of a reimagining of the show that aired in the late 70s and the early 80s. Want to know, before we talk about this week's episode, what drew you to this show? Let's start with Roselyn.
Everything, you know, the fact that it was Fantasy Island, which is such a beloved property from the 70s. You know, I remember the show really well. The fact that they were going to do a reimagining with two female leads, two women of color, that right there was super, super interesting to me. It was shooting in Puerto Rico. I'm born and raised in Puerto Rico, so it was like going back home. Everybody involved, you know, Gemstones, Sony Pictures, Fox, everybody wanted to do something really, really special. So I read the pilot script, loved it, and said, you know, this is such a blessing. I'm in.
Awesome. What about you, Kiara?
Yeah, honestly, a lot of the same what Roselyn was saying. I mean, it's an iconic show. My family was huge, big fans. My dad, my mom, my Nana, like everyone were huge fans in the 70s and watching. And so it was kind of crazy when it came across the table. And like, I was telling my dad, like, oh, I got this cool audition, Fantasy Island. He was like, wait, what? He was like, wait, what? We're doing a reboot? And I'm like, yeah, you know, what? And he's like, no, this is like a really big show. It was so like part of my childhood. And so it was really fun to be able to read through it and even talk to my family a lot more about it. And then I like obviously watched some episodes and got to see the magic of it all. But even getting the script the first time, I was hooked. Like the pilot was so good. The writing was just spot on. And Ruby, I was so enthralled with her. I felt some kind of soul deeper connection. Like I knew her. And she also kind of reminds me a lot of my Nana as well. So I just immediately felt like, oh, if this is meant to be, I will be so happy. And ended up coming through. And yeah, it's been such a whirlwind of excitement and a lot of fun.
So for anyone who might be catching up with this reimagined version, Roselyn, tell us a little bit about your character, because you, like you said, it's a female lead of a previously male lead. So what do we see that's different with your character?
You know, she is Ricardo Montalban, the original Rourke. He is the great uncle of Elena Rourke, right? This is a girl that she understands the incredible legacy that her family means. You know that, and she was supposed to take over to be the host before, but she wanted to have a normal life. She was very much in love. She was engaged, but then when it came back. A second time, she couldn't refuse to take on the responsibility. So she goes into the island knowing that she's doing something that is life-changing to people, something that is positive, and something that is amazing. But it's like a big weight on her shoulders, because in reality, deep down, she just wanted to be a regular woman, a regular lady. So it takes her a little bit to really understand that this is something that she has to do, and it's part of her bloodline, basically. So I was very much interested in how complicated they're making this woman. You know, she is lovely, she's funny, she's charismatic, but she's mystical, and she's serious. You know, she's going through a lot of stuff personally, and that was fascinating to me. And you see her journey. You know, the first season, you see a woman that she starts one way, and little by little she starts opening up and realizing, I actually love my job. You know, and you see that transformation. And now the second season, I'm hoping, you know, that we're gonna get an opportunity to know her even more and to understand why she is the way she is. And I can't wait. I can't wait to get into it.
All right, before we go, you have a huge show coming up on Thursday. Welcome to the Snow Globe. Kiara, tell us a little bit about what we should expect.
Yes. Okay. So coming up Thursday, we have our special Christmas episode. So this is going to be full of all your classic touches of, Christmas celebrations, whether that be games or hot chocolate or the funky sweaters, and love and family. And so there is a little bit of a twist that ends up happening. So you have to tune in to see that. But yeah, it's your classic holiday sweetness with just a tiny bit of a twist.
Love it. Well, thank you ladies so much for joining us tonight, and we'll definitely be watching on Thursday.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
We'll be right back with more Good Day Stateline. We're hanging out with our friends from Gambino Realtors.